Wo Long is a game that evidently draws a lot of inspiration from the likes of Sekiro, Nioh and Ninja Gaiden. Anybody who is a fan of those games will instantly feel at home in the Wo Long universe. While that is all well and good, how does the game appeal to those who may not have played those games? Can someone who has just played a regular SoulsBourne game like Elden Ring simply pick up and play the game? Or can someone who has never played a SoulsBourne game easily pick up and access the title? Most importantly, is Wo Long Fallen Dynasty worth your money? Let's find out. In terms of a casual player being able to pick up and play the game easily, I think a lot of them will struggle. I know for a fact I've played a lot of Souls games in the past, and I have fully completed them as well, not that I'm flexing here, but Wo Long took me a while to get the hang of. It's a brutally punishing game, which will not hold back on making you feel very daft for making mistakes, as well as whacking you with something that will cause you a mega amount of damage, making you even more frustrated that you made a mistake. It teaches you the bare basic mechanics to block and dodge, with a lot of emphasis being put on the dodge mechanic rather than using block, and it's the dodging mechanic where a lot of my main issues lay. You were told that a perfect block can be made as your enemy is about to strike, but the timing and their definition of what that moment exactly is seems to change with every single attack. At points I felt that enemies making the exact same attack would have differing timing windows for the perfect dodge moment, and this would often lead to me being hit and staggered despite hitting what was previously seen as the perfect moment to dodge. This became particularly apparent in the first boss fight, which is absolutely brutal by the way. This boss's attacks are lethal, often, and very hard hitting, and will completely knock the daylight out of you if you misjudge them. Oh, and did I mention this first boss has multiple stages? No? Well, he does, and it's completely unforgiving due to the small fact that if he defeats you, you have to start the whole battle again from the start. Yeah, I'm not lying there, and this is meant to be a tutorial section boss. We all remember Dark Souls 3 having a boss at the end of the tutorial section, but at least they only had one section of health. This guy has multiple stages. It's pretty safe to say it's a baptism of fire for you. One wrong move here and you'll be punished. Also, once you've defeated said boss, the reward feels a little flat, which kind of suits the environment of the game as a whole, so let's delve into that now. The whole game feels bleak, dangerous and barren, which is exactly the vibe the game was going for, so it's safe to say they were successful there. While it's not exactly breaking the mould when it comes to graphical innovation, especially compared to a lot of games that have already released this year, Wo Long is not a game that needs to look absolutely stunning to be a good game. This is definitely a title that relies more on how the game plays rather than how it looks. In saying that though, it probably wouldn't have hurt to make some of the environments a little smoother and to add a little more detail to some of the characters. That is me nitpicking a lot, I understand that, but I know the overall consensus for a lot of folk out there is if the game looks better, it is better. It's a bit silly, I know, but it's just how it is nowadays. The story and overall feel of Wo Long suits the look of the game, and to be honest that's all that's important to me. Visually, I can't fault it. Honestly, it looks really, really good. I think Wo Long Fallen Dynasty is a beautiful looking game, and I can 100% see what they're going for here, but I feel the execution has been a little sloppy in parts. You'll either have a very fun time with it and pick it up very quickly, or it'll frustrate you beyond belief and move you away from the game entirely. I honestly feel that first boss battle is going to get a lot of people to quit, not because it's broken or anything, it's just such a difficulty spike for the initial section that you're in. At the start of the game you kind of focus on just taking out one or two enemies at a time, all of which have very basic attacks that are very easily dodged or can be blocked. It eases you into the game very well and kind of lets you get to grips with the very basic sort of attacks. Then this boss comes along and completely flips it on its head. It's like going from story mode into hard mode straight away. He's absolutely brutal, and it certainly took me a while to finish. And that's coming from somebody who's played Souls games before, and even dabbled into Sekiro and Nioh. For someone who has not played those types of games before and picks this up thinking they're going to have a go with it, I feel unless they naturally get really good at the game very quick, this is going to be the moment which pushes them away from it, especially when he enters his second stage. All that glory from thinking you defeated the boss instantly goes, and will either be met with adrenaline waiting for a new challenge from the player, or just full on frustration and annoyance. I think the game will feel okay to big fans of Sekiro and Nioh, but in no way does it stand side to side with those classics. If you have access to Game Pass, it's absolutely worth a try, but I would maybe wait a while before spending your money on the game, because I am fully convinced that dodging mechanic needs fixing with a patch. For now, I will give Wo Long Fallen Dynasty 2.5 stars out of 5. Thank you for watching, I've been Ollie, and if you liked this video, please give us a like and a subscribe, I would really appreciate that, and I will see you next time.